Welcome to the First Waves podcast. This podcast is for you if you are looking for ways to boost your career development and continuously improve day after day. If you aspire to bring more value to your company, invest in yourself, and have a great career in the corporate world, then this show is for you. If you do not have the possibility to take notes while listening to this podcast, then no worries. I have included a free download that features helpful learning nuggets and simple action points. Simply select a couple of points from the list, put them into practice, and see if you notice a difference. You will find a link to this freebie in the below show notes. This podcast is sponsored by Wave Business Excellence Footprints, an environmentally friendly online training company that cares about your personal development. Today, I'm thrilled to present you the career development checklist that I used during my days as an employee in a large international corporation. Later, when I became a manager, I recommended the same structure to my employees for their development within the company. In this episode, you will learn the 5 steps to prepare for your next career development meeting with your manager. Let's first get the basics straight. Let's clarify who is responsible for your career development. Ideally, managers should take the initiative to further develop their employees' skills. In many companies, this takes place either during the mid-year or year-end performance review, also known as the appraisal time. While some companies have an optional mid-year appraisal, year-end appraisals are usually mandatory. If your company does not have these processes, then you can schedule a meeting with your manager to discuss your career development. Your manager is unlikely to refuse such a meeting since it's an opportunity to discuss the progress and sharpen your skills. The reason for scheduling the meeting about your development at the end of the year is that it corresponds with your year-end review. During this review, your performance for the year and whether you have achieved all of your goals are being discussed. Your manager will give you an overview of what you did well and the areas where you need improvement, which should be directly linked to a plan for the following year. For example, if your manager says that you need to improve your confidence when presenting in public, your action plan could contain these objectives. Objective number 1, to obtain new skills, register to an online course called Presentation and Communication Skills. Action step number 2, to put those skills into practice, present twice a month to a trusted colleague to get feedback. And action point number 3, make a formal presentation to your manager about a specific topic. You can use a standardized feedback form and give it to your colleagues and manager to receive feedback using the same scoring model. This will allow you to compare the before and after results. This action plan can be a light version of your development plan. Your manager should also review your process knowledge at work. For example, if you know 80% of the processes and you need to know at least 90% to promote more flexibility within the team, your manager could add a cross-training plan with employees who are the experts in those processes to your action plan. Next, you should also discuss the goals for the upcoming year. If the new goals require new skills, they should be included in your development plan. It would be frustrating and even scary if you were told to improve process efficiency, let's say by 3% a year, and generate 450,000 euros in financial impact without any training on process efficiency or tools and methods to lead such a process improvement project. In this scenario, you and your manager should agree that you will receive specific training to help you achieve these new goals. Some managers may discuss these steps with you once or twice a year, but some managers do not do this at all. If this is the case, do not fall into the victim scenario, where you feel horrible that your manager is not concerned about your development. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility to take care of your own development and guide your manager to help you reach your goals. Looking back, I used to worry about not being able to bring more value to the company. Therefore, these meetings with my manager were always very exciting for me. They made me feel happy, energized, and motivated to learn new things and apply them. It was always a win-win situation where I could become a better version of myself, and my manager could get better results at the end of the year. I actually view this as a triple win because my manager would be satisfied with the results, I would be happy that I did a good job, and I would have acquired new skills that could help me achieve even better results and take things to the next level in the future. It is always a good investment to invest in yourself. A good example would be the Lean Six Sigma development plan that I use for many of my employees in previous companies. First, employees would take a Lean Six Sigma white belt course to raise their awareness and observe processes using a different lens. If they resonated with the topic and wanted to fix processes in their working area, they would take a course called Lean Practitioner Certification. In this course, they led their own real project in the company and obtained a coach who guided them from the beginning to the end of the project. Once they successfully completed the project, they received a Lean Practitioner certification and brought the company an average of 8,000 to 12,000 euros in benefits through the improvements. These improvements were validated by their manager and optionally by the finance department. The total time invested for the Lean certification and the project is about 5 to 10% of the total time. After a year, if they enjoyed the Lean program, the next level was the Six Sigma Green Belt certification, which taught them even more tools and methods. Here, they were able to generate further benefits. An average Green Belt project could bring somewhere between 12,000 and 50,000 euros per year. Time invested for the Green Belt certification was also approximately 5 to 10%. After a year or two of doing a couple more projects, they could decide to go even higher with their certification and take part of the Six Sigma Black Belt certification. This is only recommended for those who work on projects more than 50% of the time, ideally 100% at some point of time in the future. Each Black Belt project should bring somewhere between 50,000 and 100,000 euros. All of these savings are, of course, just averages. For some projects, there may be zero benefits because it gets categorized as a strategic project to improve employee motivation or customer satisfaction. But then, on the other hand, another Lean project, Green Belt or Black Belt project, could bring you perhaps 1.5 million euros in savings for the company. I have really seen it all. If you work as a full-time Black Belt, then you have the potential to generate up to 500,000 euros per year. These are quite amazing benefits for the company comparing to a Black Belt average compensation package. That is why when you demonstrate that you can bring measurable results to the company, it is easier to discuss further developments and perhaps a salary raise at some point of time. If you're wondering why these Six Sigma certifications are linked to belt colors, well, they are a way to represent a project leader's level of experience within the Lean Six Sigma methodology. As you have probably guessed, it originated from martial arts. At first, they were created for fun, but then later the name stuck and became permanent terminology for the roles within the Six Sigma community. Even in the recruitment business, these are well-known job titles, especially when it pertains to the certified black belts and the certified master black belts. After completing 2 years in the black belt project management role, the person can evaluate if they like it, and if so, they can become a tool master, a trainer, and a coach, which is a prestigious role of a master black belt. It can take another 1 or 2 years to attain this level. If a person goes through all of these stages with no breaks or interruptions by going through the different belts and different certifications, they have an amazing career development plan that takes 5 to 6 years. Then, as a Master Black Belt, this person will be well known by management and the door will be open to many other opportunities in the organization. In my personal case, I also made the journey from being an employee in the operations department, and after a Lean Six Sigma career development program, I moved into consulting business. I traveled to many countries around the world implementing Lean Six Sigma and later joined the board of directors of a multinational corporation where I had the opportunity to establish various departments and later become their chief quality officer. I do not want to brag about my career path, but I just wanted to show you the possibilities and opportunities available when you choose to develop yourself. All of these different courses and certification levels can be purchased under Wave Business Excellence Footprint, which is www.wave-bef.com. There you will find a section that highlights all of the courses meant for employees and another section that offers all of the courses designed for managers. In the show notes, you will find a link where you can download a document that visually shows you the Lean Six Sigma modular development plan. There are many ways you can develop yourself in a company, and this path is only one of many ways. Everyone's career path is unique and special, and there is no linear development. So remember, the only person in charge of your career development is you. You do not need to wait until your manager makes the first step. How does that saying go? You snooze, you lose. The meeting that you schedule with your manager could be linked to your year end review, or it can also be scheduled by your request. Do not feel awkward to be the one who will address this topic. Most managers see this as a good sign when their employees take the initiative. In case you have regularly scheduled meetings with your manager, it is always a good idea to give them a heads up for the upcoming meeting agenda. People do not like to be caught by surprise, and my recommendation is that you ask your manager if they are fine with you placing your development plan or training plan on the next agenda for the upcoming meeting. This gives them the opportunity to prepare their thoughts for the meeting with you. Note that some managers may feel uncomfortable discussing development plans because they may perceive it as a threat that you are considering leaving the company. They may feel that they have invested a lot of work by hiring you, bringing you to where you are today, and keeping everything running smoothly with the processes. When they hear the word development, they might jump to conclusions that you want to leave, and they will have to then start looking again for a new person, train them, and see who could be your replacement. Therefore, before approaching your manager, it's important to clarify your intentions for your development. Do you want to learn new skills to improve your work, be more efficient, and help your manager achieve even more success? Or do you want to bring additional value to the company and move up the corporate ladder, reporting to higher management levels? You need to have a clear understanding of your career vision and goals. Are you aspiring to be a senior manager in the future, or do you want to collaborate with your current manager to create great work in the future? Or maybe you want to move to a project management role or some other different business area within the organization. I can recommend you to create a timeline with your short term goals, which is within a year, your midterm career goals, which is somewhere between 1 and 2 years, and the long term vision, which is somewhere between 3 and 10 years. Okay, now that we have established that you are ultimately the person responsible for your career development, it is time to get the checklist that I promised earlier to prepare for your meeting with your manager. Preparing for this discussion can help you maximize the opportunity to effectively communicate your goals and aspirations. Okay, let's start with our 5-step plan. Step number 1 is clarify your objectives. Take some time to think about what you want to achieve in your current role and your overall career. Consider the skills you want to develop, the experiences you want to gain, and the type of role you ultimately want to have. A clear understanding of your objectives can help you articulate your goals and identify the necessary steps to achieve them. Knowing your long term vision will enable you to plan short term goals, which will guide you towards achieving your vision. Imagine standing at the bottom of a large mountain and looking at the tip of the mountain and thinking, that's my goal, that's where I need to arrive. To do this, you need to look back down at the path in front of you and take small, measured, and successful steps repeatedly while enjoying the present moment and take it one step at a time. And before you know it, you might already be at the top. If you're unsure of your vision, of your objectives, or what direction you want to go with your career, look around you and explore the different departments. Check what types of roles and responsibilities are out there in the organization and positions that are available in your company. Then think, is there a job position that resonates with me? Or maybe there's even a role that does not exist yet in this company and you would like to establish it in the future. In my case, when I started my career and met for the first time the corporate Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, I knew instantly that was the role I would like to have someday in the future. A few years later, when I became a Master Black Belt, new dreams and objectives emerged. I wanted to create a new department and build a team of in-house consultants. Once that was achieved, I wanted to be a member of the management board and lead the topics of quality, efficiency, innovation, and CSR, which stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. When I reached that goal and had teams dedicated for all of these topics, I aspired to become the first Chief Quality Officer of the company. So my message to you is, you do not always need to know precisely what you want, but having a general direction and building upon that is also a good way to proceed. The main thing is to keep moving and developing yourself. As you probably already know, stagnant waters start to smell after a while, but continuously flowing and moving water stays fresh and vibrant. The same applies to your career. Always strive for continuous improvement. Now we come to the second step, which is review your performance. Look back and review your past performance evaluation and feedback from your manager and colleagues. Check what strengths have you demonstrated and what areas you need improvement. Use this information to identify areas where you can focus for your development efforts. Prepare a list of things that came easily to you in the past and another list of things that were challenging for you. You can then decide whether you want to focus on the things you are good at or build upon the areas where you need improvement. Ideally, you can work on both and discuss with your manager how to allocate your efforts and your focus to strengthening your weak areas and further improve your already strong areas. Now we have come to step number 3, which is about doing some research on training and development opportunities. So, in this case, you should look around for training programs, courses, and workshops and other learning opportunities that can help you develop the skills and knowledge you need to achieve your objectives. Make a list of the options you find and be prepared to discuss them with your manager. For example, at our Wave Academy, we offer a total of 22 courses, some for employees and others for managers. We included various course levels for different stages of your career development. If you are beginning with your career, then the basic training or the lean practitioner training would be a great start. If you know how to improve processes using lean methods, the Green Belt course could be the next step for you. Or if you are today a project manager or you plan to go into the project management world, then a Six Sigma Black Belt certification would be ideal for you. In case you are already a black belt and you would like to become a coach and a trainer, a Master Black Belt certification is the highest certification level you can achieve. And if you are already a Master Black Belt and you later become a manager, then we have courses and coaching sessions that fit to your new role. My vision when creating Wave Business Excellence Footprint was to offer you a complete spectrum of courses to help you at any stage of your career path. Now we come to the fourth step, which is prepare a development plan. Use the information you have gathered and create a development plan that outlines your goals, the steps you need to take to achieve them, and the resources you will need. Create a compelling presentation and share this plan with your manager and discuss if they agree with your thoughts and if they would like to support you in achieving your corporate goals. If you are not confident in creating an impressive presentation or using storytelling techniques to present it effectively, check out the course I have developed called Presentation and Communication Skills. Here I will provide you with valuable tips and tricks to create an impactful presentation and explain how to effectively communicate in a face-to-face meeting with your manager or in a one-to-one video call. Okay, now we have arrived to the final step, which is step number 5, and it's all about practice your presentation. If you're nervous about speaking with your manager, practice your presentation beforehand. Be prepared to answer any questions your manager may have. All of this can also be found in the course called Presentation and Communication Skills. It is always good to keep your presentation lean and straightforward, avoiding overloading your manager with too much information. If your manager wants to know more about a specific area, it would be helpful to have the answers ready. The better you are prepared, the more confident you will feel on the day of your meeting. Some of my students prefer to practice their key messages repeatedly over and over again to become comfortable with the storyline. You can also ask your family or friends to role-play as your manager to help you prepare for the meeting. You can ask them to take the role of an easygoing, supportive manager and then a role of a tough and difficult to convince type of manager. These practice rounds will help you rehearse in your head what you would say in the real meeting. By following these steps, you can prepare yourself for a productive conversation with your manager about your development plan. All right, so we have come to the end of the 5 steps. By following these steps, you can prepare yourself for a productive conversation with your manager about your development plan. I surely hope that this episode contained useful information for you and that you will be able to have an outstanding meeting with your manager. I am excited to support you along your corporate journey. Several topics were discussed in this show. In the show notes, you will find a link to a downloadable fun sheet containing learning nuggets and simple action points. You can choose the action points that best suit your current situation and evaluate whether they brought you value. Feel free to let me know how it went. Your comments and feedback are essential to my team and me so that we can continuously improve the value we provide to you, as we want to give you the most from each episode. Please rate, subscribe, send in your comments, and share with those who you think could benefit from this episode. I appreciate your messages and I'm grateful for them. I'm also a work in progress and I strive to do better every day. If you are interested in finding out more about Lean Six Sigma process improvement courses that can solve a burning issue in your business and impress your manager, I invite you to check out the courses on our website, www.wave-bef.com. Thank you, take care, and see you soon in the next episode.